Hey, everybody, welcome to this week's Star Report. This is Jason here at New Dimensions Crystals and Reiki in downtown Brandon, Texas. And today's report is for January the 14th, 2026. And through January the 20th, 2026. The sun is where we start because it is our closest star in the star report. And the sun is actually been quite quiet. Sometimes that might be making you feel low energy because a lot of the stuff that moves through the planet is funded by the sun and what it releases towards us. So when that is low energy, sometimes we feel low energy. Sometimes that allows some shifts to happen too. So pay attention for that. There is a coronal hole, which is almost Earth facing. So it should turn in over the next couple days, and then we'll hit that coronal hole stream during the weekend, which that's just going to make you feel a little bit compressed, right? So you want to think that coronal holes are heavy and solar flares are electric. So just think of that energy. There are not a lot of sunspots currently, but there is a large grouping of sunspots following that coronal hole. So probably look for that for the beginning of next week for those to be Earth facing. So that'd be like Monday, Tuesday, towards the end of this report. And so the possibility of large solar flares. And of course, we don't want them to be too large, but when they are large, we just sort of have communication issues. Sometimes we have sleep stuff. Sometimes it's an overthinking thing that happens when you have that much energy flowing through the atmosphere. And then, of course, technology slowdowns, travel problems with radars, and don't want to be in high flights with high solar flares because you're more open to radiation at the altitudes that planes fly. So pay attention to that if you are moving about the country next weekend. Leads us into what's the zodiac? The sun is still in Capricorn until Tuesday, of course. And so that's the first three vertebrae of the sacrum. So that's just basically in the lower spine, where many people believe that Kundalini, or the active energy that moves up and down the spine, rests. And so when that's activated, sometimes that causes a awakening, or at least a funding of change. So a good thing to have during this time. We will be moving into Aquarius, which Aquarius is really about the energy which is in your blood, which is sort of fueling your physical form, right? Or basically the blend of spiritual energy or electricity into the rest of the body. And so Aquarius is about sort of the blood salt in the plasma, or yeah, the blood salt content in your bloodstream. So pay attention to that. It also physically sort of corresponds not just with the blood system and its purification, but also in the ankles. And so you want to sort of pay attention that if you are starting to move down or feel some sensations in the ankles with this shift, that is normal. But we usually associate metaphysically ankles with stability or balance, right? And so you sort of want to think that this energy that's moving through you is allowing you to act more spiritually and do that in safety. So, if you're feeling some pain, maybe you have some doubt about how safe it is to change, or how safe it is to leave your past behind, which is all kinds of things that happen during the season of January. And so pay attention to that. Like I said, that'll be happening Monday, Tuesday, 19th, 20th, when we move into Aquarius, which leads us to today, Monday, the 14th of January 2026. The moon is furthest from the earth all month. So sometimes that sort of has you seeking or far away from that sort of spiritual sense. The divine feminine sometimes feels far away, but we are still being funded, thank you, by the Capricorn stellium, which I think there's five heavenly bodies in this stellium, which is really inspiring us some persistence and focus, right? So if it's adding new habits, or just the way the world's working, or your view of the world and how that's working, this sort of inspires persistence and focus to keep going, to keep working towards those changes that you're trying to make. Saturn and Uranus are also aligning, so follow through, right? So a lot of times it's like, oh, it's so hard, I don't want to keep going. So follow through is really what you sort of need. And so you have the energy and the stars for that today, Wednesday. And one of the other things that Saturn Uranus alignment has is it sort of breaks your hesitation, right? So it's like If you want to think of this new life, this energy you're moving through is kind of like you're fixing to bungee jump, and this is sort of like, should I go now or oh my body, whatever. This is just a jump kind of energy. So use that for what you will today. Wednesday. Tomorrow, Thursday, the 15th of January, 2026, Venus is going to be strong in the sky, giving you personal. What did I write? Oh, personal buy-in to. I was like, what? I made it to anyway. Personal buy-in into your plans, right? So a lot of times you're like, this is what I should do, and you're operating your plans out here. But this is sort of like you're invested. You start to feel it in the body, kind of energy. Uh, and so Venus is also sort of associated with love, right? So this is sort of like you sort of embrace that you want to be going in the direction you're going. Uh, and partners. So it also increases closeness with partners you might be doing this with. That could be romantic partners. It could be business partners. Right. So it's buy in with not just, hey, I buy this, but hey, I buy how I'm doing this or who I'm doing this with. It's kind of energy. And also, Venus and Saturn's alignment on Thursday is really going to help you stay in the now, right? So a lot of times that gets past the hesitation, like, well, what if this or what if that? And so you try to plan for all the what ifs before you act. So that'll be good energy on Thursday for you. Friday, the 16th of January, 2026, the moon's going to be squaring Saturn. Well, Saturn. So what that might be doing is might be causing some high emotions on Friday. Try and avoid business contracts. Don't start businesses when you're emotional or whatever. Um, that's kind of the energy that it's going with. Try and avoid business contracts, and then with that sort of high emotions, avoid um, if you want to manage those better. Not that you have to. If you would like to manage those better, really avoiding sugar as medicine would be good, because also the moon is squaring Neptune, which can have you feeling withdrawn. Sometimes that's depression or sleepiness. So you want to add some sugar to pep yourself up. Right. So it's going to be really tempting on Friday to eat a lot of sugar. And then the moon is into Capricorn, which is going to increase ideation, which is repetitive thought stuff, right? So over focus is what ideation is, right? So pay attention to not overthink and not over sugar on Friday. That sounds fun. I like sugar though. I know sugar's hard. Sugar's hard to quit or hard to regulate. Uh, you don't have to quit it. Well, sugar's anyway. Your body changes lots of things into sugar. Blah 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 blah. Anywho, moves us into Saturday the 17th. Look at Jason talk about nutrition. I just want to hear about the stars. So Saturday the 17th, Venus is into Aquarius, and it has us feeling sort of independent. But that sort of independence is really like, hey, this is me. So it's more of a identity thing. So you're going to be having the energy that you might be feeling like you should be more direct, but with the intent of harmony, right? So this is you're not sugarcoating anything because you can't stand the disharmony, right? So this is a directness and independence that you can actually request or bring about harmony. Well, that's a good Saturday. That'd be a fun Saturday for people to hang out. Sunday, excuse me, the Sunday, Sun will be trining Uranus also on Saturday the 17th. Which gives you a whole bunch of super confidence, right? You're gonna be feeling like, yeah, not only am I direct, but I'm right. So this is, going along with that stuff that, you're doing good things, you're moving towards your goals and everything's working along with the stars with you. The moon is going to be opposing Jupiter, which could have you clashing with rules or the law. Sometimes, yeah, anyway, talk about that. Could have you clashing with the law or rules. Watch out for the main thing that most of us are going to run into is speeding tickets. So if you're in a hurry to go do some shit on Saturday, slow down because the cops might just be energetically like pulling everybody over. Yeah. So, and yeah, maybe it's parking tickets too. Maybe it's just you don't like rules or you don't want to file certain paperwork in the order that's, yeah, it's just that like, why are there so many rules? Or sometimes this is like dealing with contractual stuff like changing cell phones or buying new cell phones or getting repair people out to fix technology kind of stuff. Yeah, just sort of pay attention. Saturday, you're gonna be like, why are all these rules so ruly? Anywho, moves us into Sunday, the 18th. New moon in Capricorn. Um, so new moons are always about new beginnings, also the release of the old. What a lot of stuff. A lot of the stuff, a lot of the stuff that we'll be experiencing is going to be around relationships and strengthening them. The moon is also going to be aligning with Uranus on that day to make you very persuasive. So that should be good stuff. With you can persuade yourself for the pathway. You can release the old stuff and tell a good story about it without having to carry it with. The moon is also going to be conjuncting Mercury for kind of the blessing of new beginnings, new journeys, new things to go towards. Right. So if you're trying to do something different and you haven't acted or done it or whatever, Sunday's a great day for those new beginnings to sort of happen with the new moon. And that doesn't have to mean like, all of a sudden you're living in a different town on Sunday, but that could be like all of a sudden you've decided that's the thing and you look for a house in New York or something like that. Um, yeah, it's not going to be like teleportation. This ain't Star Trek yet, at least not for the most of us. Yeah, leading us into Monday, the 19th of January, 2026. The sun is now fully into Aquarius. Venus is also going to be conjuncting Pluto. So the energy of Monday is really sort of the thriving of physical relationships. So that could be being physical with a relationship you already have. This could be sort of physical relationships with self, like you're doing really well in the gym. Um, and so Mars is also trining Uranus, which could also spark spontaneous energy, right? So just sort of like things you didn't see coming, uh, uh, things that you thought were going to take longer, right, might spontaneously start to happen on Monday, which would be great. And then Tuesday, the 20th, is the first full day into Aquarius in the beginning of a 3-week Aquarian stellium. So there'll be, I think it's three, at least three, because that makes it a stellium. Anyway, there'll be three planetary or three heavenly bodies in Aquarius. And so really that energy is sort of lifting, right? When you get this sort of stellium, it sort of makes that energy rise in consciousness or in our consciousness. And Aquarian age is really sort of anchoring in sort of spiritual light. Right? So you want to think that the rise of spiritual light is happening. So the idea when uh, light rises, so does dark. Right? Everybody likes Batman. Dark Knight Rises. So it's both and that sort of happen, and so dark will resist the light. So look for increased conflict, and use the lens while you're looking at this increased conflict that the light has already won, and so where things are heading or towards more light. So if you could be intending for that to be true, it might be more true or quicker, right? You might have some spontaneous goodness just appearing on the scene as light rises. Fun times. I think that's everything. I know I like to put on here the updates about how's the shop going to be open this week. The shop is only going to be open Wednesday and Thursday. I am heading someplace over the weekend. So we'll be closed Friday and Saturday. So if you need to get in the stuff that's actually, it's so weird. Like a lot of stuff that's just from my wholesalers are just not in stock. So, everything that's here, if you still need it, I still have, the basics, sage, incense, couple candles, all the crystals. So if you need any of that before Friday, come in on today, Wednesday, or tomorrow, Thursday. I'll be back in the shop next week. Don't intend to be gone that long. So it's just a weekend jaunt. But yeah, that should be everything. Until next time, as I find the little, ooh, that's a loud noise. As I find the stop button, I wish you all many blessings.